Alrighty, it's time for the championship match. Unfortunately, I am trailing by a decent margin. So, in order to win the championship, I actually have to win 5 of the 6 games we're going to play. Because these matches still count. It's not whoever wins the championship match wins. The championship match is just like you get another bite at the apple, but you still have to have more total wins over the course of the season to be the champion. So if I win 5 or more, then I'll pass Fircoal. I have previously. Who is it? I made the championships once. I think it was versus Yuri Kamame, and won the championship match, but I was trailing and didn't win by enough to win the championship. I still have not, as of yet, claimed the Dominion League championship, but today could be the day. What do we got going on here? I see Necromancer and Horse. That's always fun. I don't know if Fircoal will fall for that. You put some horses in the trash with, say, Zombie Apprentice or Zombie Mason. Then your Necromancers can all be horses. Or your Necromancers can be labs, because they play the horse from the trash, and then the horse tries to go to the pile. The Necromancer doesn't come back to the pile. The trouble is, if you go to the work of putting horses in the trash, your opponent can just take Necromancers too. It works great for people who aren't paying close attention. Aside from that, what's actually going on? Villages look pretty limited. Is it just Landing Party? I think so. And there's a lot of nice terminals you want to play. Grave Robbing Cultist sounds fun. Bishop on any of those things sounds good. Maybe you just taking a turn off every other turn. You play one big turn of Landing Party, then you play a treasure to retop deck your landing parties. I can see that being the thing we do here. There's no tricky way to play treasures at the start of your action phase that I can see. I don't think Cultist looks that oppressive here because you can use Necromancer to Zombie Apprentice the ruins for benefit. I mean, if you get a bunch of ruins all at once, you only do Zombie Apprentice once per turn, so that they could still be a limitation, but it's not as bad as usual. Oh, Colony, when did you get here? Maybe that changes things a bit. It means Grave Rob Cultist into Province is a little bit less good, and maybe make something more money-like a little bit more good. I still think the landing party thing has to pay off. How to open? Silver Necromancer, get in some trashing early, and then start taking some landing parties. No, I definitely want some Necromancers. Dungeon here. Unfortunately, I can't hit an estate, but trashing a copper seems alright. Estate, please. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to take a sleigh. If I can get a horse into the trash, I've already got 2 Necromancers to Fircoal 0. No, I don't want that. Stop that. I think I benefit more so than they do. Well, I think I'm inclined to just cantrip the Necromancer and play this sleigh. I know for sure this Necromancer cannot possibly trash an estate, which is the optimum outcome. Down on top, take a landing party. At the moment, I think top priority is connecting Necromancer with a ruin as often as possible, because I can only trash 1 ruin per turn effectively. And if the ruins are coming in fast, I could easily get a little bit bloated for a minute. There's no way Fear Cultist plans on playing Cultist money long term. Case in point, they could have bought a 3rd Cultist here and they chose to save instead. So I think they're just taking some Cultist early to capitalize on the 5-2, and then probably pivoting to something else. I want to trash the ruins. Cannot find the ruins. I don't think I want to play 2 dungeons on the same turn. Maybe I do. And generally, you want your dungeons to alternate. There's also a lot of junk down there I need to get through. I have 4 total ruins on my deck. I haven't trashed any, which means the second Necromancer is 100% guaranteed to line up with the ruins. I think I should be okay. 2 slays might be too many slays. Maybe it's not. I have landing parties. Could be vagrant. Yeah, I think I'm behind right now. Unfortunately, I've had 2 turns where I could have conceivably trashed a ruins and whiffed both times. Even with 2 necromancers and 2 dungeons. And now there's 6 ruins on my deck. That's going to take quite a while to fix. These draws are not good either. Most important cards for me to buy are this stuff costing 4, and I can't hit 4. The trouble is I'm seeing the dungeons early on before I find the junk. I have to discard the coppers, and then I draw into all the junk after I've sifted past it. Yeah, this is already looking pretty dire. Oh! Reap! That's the answer to everything. I mean, I'm probably already lost, so this is not going to matter very much. But theoretically, if we make it to later in the game, Reap plays a gold at the start of your turn, which activates the landing parties. Yeah, the problem is I'm like 4 turns behind already. I have to imagine Fircoal either sees that or is going to see it pretty soon. They have the landing parties, and it's going to be we're going to be able to do the landing party Reap thing. The big concern of landing party is you have to take a turn off functionally to get them back out of play, because playing a treasure first requires skipping your whole action phase. Unless you can play a gold first and then do your whole action phase after top decking all of the stuff. Good job, Vagrant. Where is my... This is painful. This is just painful. I have trashed 1 ruin. This is just going to snowball from here. I don't think Cultist was inherently a threat. In fact, I imagine there's likely scenarios where Cultist just doesn't get gained until very late in the game as GRobber food. But they were able to open with Cultist and then buy a second Cultist pretty early on. The ruins were coming in quick. And then I've just missed 3 out of 4 turns on the ruins trashing. And that's just going to make it worse and worse as time goes on. Not much to do about that. I'm just going to stop here. No use triggering that. Yeah, I think they got the right idea. Cultists have outlived their utility, but they're great GRobber food, because you draw 3 cards off of trashing them. Well, at least I get the one. Oh no. Well, I was gonna say at least I get the landing party back. I didn't realize I had 2 dungeons in play. See if I can't trash. There we go. Copper is one of my better cards, I hate to admit. Why do they have a gold? They reap the gold and I just missed that interaction? I just gained a gold. Gross. Why would you do that? You're gonna get tons of golds involuntarily. Like you don't buy Reap because you want the gold in your deck. You buy Reap because it gets your landing parties back, and then the gold is a side effect. I have no idea why they did that. That's bizarre in the extreme. Very slowly but surely, we're getting places. Trash something. Hope for the best. That's not really one of the only cards that's not great for me to trash at the moment, for being perfectly honest. I don't think I need a third dungeon. Maybe I do. This much junk? Honestly, I kind of just want to slay back. That was a sad eventuality. I can't draw. Yeah, I don't think I could get back around to this slay. Horse draws 2, dungeon draws 2. But that's not even getting me into my shuffle, so there's no point drawing on here, I don't think. I cannot explain why Fircoal gained a gold. And that's the one thing that would give me some glimmer of hope, is if they're just doing something strange and wrong over there. And it kind of looks like, why would you buy black? What are you doing, Fircoal? Do I have a chance? All right, you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll do what I'm doing. Oh my god! Okay, that part was clever. I didn't even think about that. Fircoal stole the zombie apprentice out of the trash. That was a very good play. Now I can't trash the things anymore. Why am I seeing this? Played zombie spy. Let's leave that on top. Trash that. Sure, I'll take another dungeon, I suppose. I'm a little bit stuck here. I need to get a GRobber into my deck now. GRobber is going to be the new way that I trash the ruins. But I also kind of have to buy Reap every turn to keep my deck functioning. Is there a convenient way to get a GRobber? There's a ruin market somewhere. They might all be in the trash at this point. Maybe I just buy the GRobber now and do without landing party for a second. We're taking the cultist back, maybe? Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I'm back to being dead lost. There was a brief moment of hope that I had there when Fircoal was doing some nonsense with the treasures, but it looks like they've come to their senses. Oh, I haven't actually hit 7, have I? That's a little bit of a pain. My gold is hiding down there. Oops, what have I just done? I see what I did. I got myself confused. There we go. Alright, they're just going straight for provinces. Ooh! I am so confused about what's happened on the other side of this game. I liked the cultist opening. I thought that made sense. Especially, like, I think there was a chance. If I could have connected the necromancers with the ruins early, and trashed at least one per turn consistently the first few turns, I don't think I'd be in such a dire situation right now. But I missed those first few trashes, and then it snowballed pretty hard pretty quickly. So that part made sense. I also thought nabbing the zombie apprentice out of the trash made a lot of sense, and I hadn't even thought about that. Why on earth are they just gaining treasures and buying colonies? If they just reaped once per turn, their deck would be totally functional forever, whereas mine is still struggling. I've already used the zombie spy for the turn. Think about this. It's kind of important that I buy Reap here, which maybe I discard the Vagrant, Grave Rob the Cultist, Zombie Mason the Cultist. Draws me 3 cards. Ideally, I draw into the silver or 2 coppers, and then can buy Reap. If I can't, I could gain a gold and put it into my hand. Just this evasive action of sorts. But if I manage to draw 7 money naturally, I can gain something of more value. There's not really a practical way to draw on here, I don't think. I guess the other option would be Grave Up the Cultist, put it in hand, Zombie Apprentice it, draw 3 cards. Then I see a lot more of my deck. But I'm not really sure what the upside of that is. I draw more total stuff, but there's nothing down there that I really benefit from finding, I don't think. Annoyingly, I've hit 6. So I got either put a gold in hand and buy Reap. I don't love filling the deck with golds while I'm still trying to get thin. Still did not trash a ruin this turn. Or I could just gain a grave robber or something. I can gain a werewolf and hex them and then buy a landing party maybe. Envious could matter, maybe. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm just gonna count provinces, I suppose. I mean, it's not actually that ridiculous because, like, if you're building an engine, the easiest payload for the engine, I think, is grave robbing cultists into provinces. And so if they're just going to go for the province pile, it is actually, I think, harder for me to outpace that by just gaining colonies. I could do multiple colonies a turn, but it would involve playing Ruin Market with like 22 money, which I think is a lot harder than just grave robbing stuff. Every time I say something about what Fircoal is doing, they just do a different thing. Apparently, we're back to colonies again. I don't love any decisions they've made since the gaining of the Zombie Apprentice. Unfortunately, I think my goose was thoroughly cooked before that. Okay. Maybe I'm ready to draw. I have plenty of terminal space to play the Ruin Libraries. Probably just going to play the Werewolf. Draw another card. So, 3 actions left. Maybe I don't have unlimited terminal space. I just thought I did. Grave Robber Ruin. Trash a thing. Well, it's not what I was hoping to hit, but it was the second best option. And now, would I rather play the Necromancer as a Ruin to market? I would have 8, 13 money. I spend 7 on Reap, and I can get myself a Grave Robber. That's probably better than playing the Slay, right? I like the horses, but I don't like the horses that much. With the power of hindsight, realizing that I was actually a little bit more limited on actions than I thought, I probably wouldn't have played that last Ruin Library. Reap. Grave Robber. I would love it if GRobber could gain cards costing up to 4, trashing ruins. Then my deck would work a lot better. If I could turn these ruins straight into necromancers. Bishop is also starting to look pretty good right about now. All these golds that I don't really need. Would not mind bishoping them for a few points. I hate what they're doing over there. Such an interesting kingdom, and they're letting it pass them by. Okay. Draw with the werewolf. Let's go ahead and gain this. We will trash that and gain a necromancer probably, or maybe just a bishop. I kind of worry that if I leave the cultist in the trash after doing little shenanigans with it, Fircoal's going to snag the cultist too and not let me have it. So maybe this last GRobber play should be regaining the cultist so I can hang on to it. I have 4 terminal plays left. I just have more money than I need. I think I do need another necromancer for sure. That in hand. I should probably trash these ruins. So one option is grave rob, top deck cultist, trash cultist, draw a bunch of cards, gain a thing that I like. I don't really need to draw cards right now, and I think thinning is probably a higher priority than gaining. So then the option number 2 would be, I'll just play this first and see what we got. What's that bottom card? A copper probably? No, it's an estate. Because maybe I'm trashing the estate, trashing a ruin, playing plus buy. I think that all checks out, right? I've already used Zombie Mason. I can't do that. That whole thing where I talked about top decking cultists and trashing it again, that was nonsense. I can't play the Zombie Mason a second time unless I grave rob it. Let's make this one Ruin Market. I can grave rob the Mason, trash the estate, and gain another Slay. I don't want to lower dungeons because it's the lowest pile. Could just be another Vagrant. And how much money do I have? Enough to benefit from a third buy. I have 9, 11, 16 money. 7 of that has to go to reaping. So if I do Ruined Market, I could buy a Necromancer and a Bishop. Or I could buy 2 Bishops. I think I probably just prefer the horses. Make sure I'm drawing. Trouble with 2 bishops is I'm not sure I can play all of that. Maybe. Maybe it's worth the shot. Okay, we'll save. Reap. Double bishop. My deck is slowly but surely coming together. Probably a tad too late. But we shall see. I'm expecting double province from Fircoal this turn. Maybe province plus reap. I could try to play more werewolves potentially as a payload to slow Fircoal down. I'm not sure that there are hexes that actually hurt enough. Like Envious does some damage to the golds, but they also have the platinum. And they already had that one, didn't they? Envious. Yeah, that's like the only hex I've given out. So I have to play werewolf like at least 12 more times to hit Envious again. Curse, discard attack, What do they do? Province plus a grave robber. Intriguing. I cannot explain what is happening over there. So now they're back to trying to build a little bit with a grave robber? I don't know. I do not know. Perhaps I should have considered masoning the silver. The silver's not actually that valuable of a card in my deck. And I just want targets that I can know for sure are good mason targets. Okay. I think we've kind of got to do the gain cultist, trash cultist again thing. Oops, that's the wrong card. I have the zombie mason, but I have to play it from my hand because it's not in the trash anymore. Yeah, I don't know, maybe just another werewolf. It's effectively non-terminal. I'm using it for the right things. All right, let's go ahead and get this one bishop play out of the way. I would like to play a second bishop if I could. I would like to play a ruined market. That constrains how much more I can be doing here. Alas, my final bishop is hiding. Okay, so options. GRobber ruin, trash bishop from top of deck, play bishop from trash. Don't play a final card because I'm out of things to do at that point. GRobber ruin, draw the bishop with cultist. Pretty sure I want to play that bishop. How important is it to play this ruined market? After bishoping, I'd have 5, 7, 10 money. I could go without playing the ruined market potentially. So what if I terminally draw the bishop with a cultist, play the bishop, play the GRobber? I'm liking these lines better, I think, and just not bothering to buy a second thing. Fircoal getting thin. Yes, I think I'm just going to take some horses. Trash the library, gain a cultist. Probably trash the library. The probably trash the library is I have to gain something, and then there's I'm running out of things worth gaining. I don't want to lower vagrants because that's dangerous. If your hole can't easily pile the vagrants, but like conceivably 2 GRobber gains plus 2 buys could empty vagrants in 2 turns. And the biggest threat is piling provinces. Is turning a ruined library into a silver even improvement? Not really. Like I just don't care enough about the money. I mean, I do kind of have to get money at some point because I'm probably buying colonies on top of bishoping things. I sure would not mind putting a cultist into my deck though. But I can't zombie apprentice it because Fircoal stole the apprentice. Maybe the cultist in the deck is still good because I can bishop it. I think I'm talking myself into gaining a cultist just because there's just no good gains for the ruin market play. If only that were slightly cheaper. I can't gain that back out of the trash because GRobber only says up to 6 money. Top card is a vagrant. I don't want to mason that. Just go ahead and bishop the cultist for the moment. Just check another card. Bishop, I don't think I want to kill you. Would not mind killing a horse, actually. I do have half a mind to just bishop a horse so that I can start necromancing it. But I probably need to play the horse for draw at the moment. There's a good target. You can die. Sure, let's kill a horse. Make ourselves some laboratories. Just like we were planning from the get-go. All along. Okay. Now what are the rest of these doing? I played both my bishops for the turn. Not mind regaining the cultist. Don't know what else the necromancers are going to do. I guess one cultist gain, one ruin market play, one slay play probably. And the last one can just be a cantrip. I could gain the other cultist as well. That's probably better, right? So if I play Necromancer's Ruin Market, I have 16 money, 7 of which goes to reap, probably an 1/8 of which goes to save. I could buy myself a Necromancer and a bishop. I like the idea of a third bishop, but like that's not that important. 18 would be a nice number. 18 is what gets you a colony plus reap. I don't think I have an effective way to get to 18, do I? I think that makes money in the trash. Now I wish I could grave rob the village into silver and put it in hand, but Necromancer can only play the slave from the trash. It can't use the slay reaction effect. So gain 2 horses, gain a cultist, buy an extra card. I think buying an extra card seems like the worst option. Maybe I'm going to take the horses, I think. And I don't think I want to touch provinces. I mean, I need the points, but I don't want to lower the province pile. I think I just have to win on colonies somehow. / bishop points. Bishop also exists. Alright, you got a curse. I think I'm still in hot water. 30 points is a lot to make up with a still fairly rickety engine, and Fircoal's going to add to that a decent margin each turn. They gained the cultist, you jerk. You can have the gold. I don't need the gold. By all means, take your gold. Lowering the dungeon pile makes sense for them. Is dangerous for me. Okay. Copper? Did I trash that? Is that worth it? Terminal base is kind of limited at this point. Might be better things I could do with it. Let's bishop the cultist first. We'll regain said cultist. Do another one of those. Kind of want to trash one of these horses. Yeah, how's about we grave rob the horse into what? Can I afford to play more bishops? Unclear. Another grave robber. I'm getting very generous with the amount of terminal space I'm trying to use. I think just another necromancer is probably the safest bet. Okay, we're getting places. How much money am I looking at? 11, 15. Again, 18 is the magic number, so I probably got to draw on a little bit further. Don't want Necromancer on top, I don't think. Might have to play one of these werewolves the natural way. I just need to find a tad more money. And I know I've got another gold honey down there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's in the discard. So I think I'm just playing a werewolf, right? I guess I could play Necromancer as Cultist. This ain't working out. This ain't working out at all. Shoot. If I want to buy a colony, which I kind of do, I have to play the Necromancer, draw the gold, and the... So I play the Werewolf, draw the gold, and the Necromancer, play Necromancer as Ruined Market, and then I can do Reap plus Colony. If I don't want to bother buying Colony, I could play Bishop now and play Slay now, which has a lot of upside just in terms of my deck quality. Adding one junk card versus trashing a junk card, and yeah, I think I gotta pass up on the points actually. I think this just is too much for my deck. I gotta keep it functioning. Could YOLO it. Hitting the Necromancer would be sad. Hitting gold would be okay. I think I'd rather just have two horses. That could maybe hurt. That doesn't hurt at all. Actually, diluted maybe matters a little bit if Fircoal gets the smart idea of trying to pile dungeons. Okay, yeah. They probably would have bought a dungeon there if they legally could have. Dutchy. Makes sense. We're getting places. What do I discard here? I have too many good cards in hand. I think the Zombie Mason is the most optional thing. I like having in hand, because each time I play a Vagrant, I can check potential Zombie Mason targets. But I think it is just not the most important card to play at the moment. I kind of gotta get on the points thing ASAP. Okay. Bishop a horse. Alrighty. Bishop another horse. We're building our own labs. Now I think I gain the cultist back. Put it in hand. Trash that. Is this 18 yet? 6 plus 9 is 15. This is 18, which is not enough to save things, but that's probably fine. Necromancer has Ruined Market. GRobber can kill the library and gain me... I guess a Vagrant at this point is fine since dungeons are lower. Yeah, I think that's all fine. Ruined Market. Or maybe I just gain the cultist out of the trash. It still seems higher priority. I have unanticipated extra terminal space. Why did I not think I could play a third thing? Why do I have extra terminal space? I didn't plan for this. I don't think there's anything useful to do with it. I can't save anything. There's no point drawing the cultist. I'll leave it on top. I think I'm going to stop me here. Trash the dungeon and give him a copper. Okay. This is going to be a triple province turn. Fircoal has another GRobber in there. I don't know if they have another good GRobber target. This should probably be province over colony. At least that's what I expect. Every decision Fircoal makes is just confusing me in the extreme. Like, obviously, it's a larger points buffer to take the colony. But like, I think from their perspective, you just want to shorten the game clock as much as humanly possible. And the biggest threat for them is not like colonies or provinces. It's me just outscoring them slowly over bishop points. Let's Trash a cultist. I don't hate the idea of putting a bishop in the trash because then my necromancers can play it. But I think it's probably not worth it. Go ahead and gain a cultist, I think. Draw it. Bishop it. Oh no! I forgot the bishop was going to make them resolve something. Alright, we're going to have to wait a second. I'm pretty sure I get at least one more turn. I'm having trouble seeing how Fircoal ends the game next turn. They don't have any other landing parties down. But like supposing they pass this turn, get those landing parties back, then something like double GRobber into triple province looks like a threat. As I say that, do they have any GRobber targets left? I think maybe they have one cultist in their deck. Yeah, they have one cultist left. So they're very credibly threatening double province. So I'm not sure they can actually do triple province. Maybe something like one GRobber trashes the cultist, the other GRobber gains the... Oh, they can't gain the zombie mason. It's in my deck. Yeah, so actually, I might be guaranteed not just one more turn, but 2 more turns. That sounds doable. That sounds pretty doable. You know what else I should think about? I'm getting close enough on points that perhaps I could just be trying to end it on provinces. Like maybe I should have thought about that from the start of this turn. Triple province is 18 points, which would bring me up to 61. Is that right? Yeah. Am I just winning this turn? I don't need to win this turn. I get at least another turn. So one GRobber trashes a werewolf, gains me a province. Necromancer plays Ruin Market. I buy 2 provinces and I bishop something. That sounds like a win. That sounds like a very doable win, I would think. Let me check real quick if it's in hand. GRobber trashes a werewolf. Necromancer plays Ruin Market. I have 14, 17 money. So that's triple province right there. 53, 61. So I just need to bishop something worth at least 2 points. Yeah, I think this checks out. And with 1 extra terminal space to boot. I should trash the werewolf because Fircoal does have a curse somewhere in their deck that it could have been in hand, and that would have meant I would need to score 1 extra point if they managed to trash their curse. Yes, I'm actually winning this with like a decent bit of room to spare, to be perfectly honest, because I have like at least an extra turn, probably 2 extra turns to catch up. Yeah, I just think that was a total throw from Fircoal. I thought they played the beginning very well. The early cultists made sense. I thought nabbing the zombie apprentice was very clever. I was just absolutely dead in the water. But they got a little bit careless with their lead and just started buying colonies one by one, gaining treasures. And that gave me enough time to claw it back. Also, not even just like the fact they're more or less playing big money by the end there, but the fact that they were kind of alternating, like gaining colony when they could, gaining province otherwise. Like you want to just pile drive one of those in the game ASAP. But I'll take it.